When I first met Eric, he seemed like the perfect roommate. He was polite, paid his half of the rent on time, and even washed dishes without being asked. For 3 months, everything was peaceful. Then his girlfriend moved in. Unofficially, that's when hell started. She stayed over a few nights, then a few weeks, and suddenly she was just always there, using my stuff, leaving her clothes in the bathroom, turning the living room into her personal beauty salon. But the worst part, Eric stopped paying his share. "Hey man," he'd say, "I'm a little short this month. Can you cover me? I'll pay you back." He never did. The rent was due, and I was now covering 75% just to avoid getting evicted. I finally sat them both down and said, "This isn't working. She needs to either be on the lease or move out, and you need to pay your share. I'm not your bank." His girlfriend rolled her eyes. "Relax. It's not that serious." Eric glared at me and said, "Fine, if you don't like it, maybe you should move out." I laughed. "I'm on the lease. You're on the lease. She is not. If someone's leaving, it's not going to be me." That's when I saw the anger flash in his eyes. I didn't realize it then, but he had already decided to get rid of me. A week later, I came home and found our landlord standing in the kitchen, holding a trash bag. He didn't look happy. "Can we talk?" he asked. We sat at the table. He took a deep breath and said, "Eric told me you've been having parties, leaving the place filthy, and doing drugs in the apartment. He says he feels unsafe living with you." I was stunned. "What? That's not true." The landlord shrugged. He showed me photos. He pulled out his phone and showed me pictures of empty beer cans, trash everywhere, some pill bottles on the counter. The problem, I wasn't in any of the photos. These were taken while I was at work. I said, "Check the dates and times." We did. Every single photo was taken when I was working late shifts. "It looks bad," the landlord said, "but you're right. You're not in any of these pictures." Then I asked the key question. "When did Eric tell you all this?" "Yesterday," he replied. "He said he was worried for his safety." I laughed bitterly. Tease, trying to get me kicked out so he and his girlfriend can have the apartment to themselves. The landlord sighed. "If this continues, I'll have to terminate the lease." I knew then I had two options: walk away and lose everything, or prove the truth. I picked option 2. That night, I installed a hidden camera in the living room, another one in the kitchen. Nothing illegal, just pointed at common areas, not bedrooms or bathrooms. Then I waited. 2 nights later, while I was at work, I was actually sitting in my car down the street, watching my phone. Eric's girlfriend walked into the living room with 2 friends, carrying bags of chips and drinks. They cracked open beers, turned up the music, and trashed the place. At one point, she even looked into the camera without realizing it was on and said, "If we make it look bad enough, the landlord will finally kick him out and we'll have this place to ourselves." I smiled. Gotcha. The next day, I texted the landlord, Hey, can we meet? I have something you need to see. We sat at the same table as before. This time, I was ready. I pulled out my phone and played the video. We watched as the friends laughed, spilled drinks, tossed trash around, and talked about framing me. The landlord's face went pale. That's his girlfriend. Yup, I said, and that's your evidence of me being the problem. He didn't say much. He just asked me to send him the video. An hour later, Eric came home. He looked nervous. Hey man, he said, avoiding eye contact. Landlord said he wants to talk to both of us later. I couldn't help but smile. I already talked to him, I replied. You should check your email. He froze. He hurried into his room. A minute later, I heard yelling. Then his bedroom door slammed. That evening, the landlord came by for the last time. He knocked. We both opened the door. He looked straight at Eric. I'm terminating your part of the lease effective immediately, he said. You have 14 days to move out. Eric exploded. What about him? The landlord turned to me.